You know that feeling when you read something and it sounds like it was written yesterday, except it's from like 70 years ago? Yeah, these books predicted more about today than I'm honestly comfortable with. And trust me, the fifth one, it'll seriously mess with your head. Stick around. Books are supposed to reflect their time, right? Capture a moment, a culture, a mindset. But some books reach forward, way past their own era, and land squarely in the middle of ours. I've spent the last few years collecting obscure and out-of-print books, and along the way, I've come across a few that didn't just age well, they aged scarily accurately. So today, I want to show you 5 rare books that barely get talked about anymore, but somehow predicted everything from digital surveillance to how lonely the world feels now. Let's get into it. Book number 1, The Image by Daniel J. Boorstin, 1962. You've probably never heard of this one, and honestly, I hadn't either until I found a copy in a secondhand store with a cracked spine and pages that smelled like an attic. In The Image, Boorstin talks about a world where people confuse reality with representations of reality. He called it the age of the pseudo-event. And get this, he wrote this decades before social media, before influencers, before brand image ruled everything. Here's a line that hit me. We risk being the first people in history to have been able to make their illusions so vivid, so persuasive, so realistic that they can live in them. Sound familiar? It's eerie how perfectly this maps onto Instagram feeds, TikTok personas, and corporate brands pretending to be your friends. Book number 2 on Nabat, The Technological Society by Jacques Ellul, 1954. This one's heavy, not an easy read to be honest. Ellul writes like a professor who never cared if anyone actually understood him. But if you stick with it, the reward is huge. He argued that once technology becomes the dominant force in a culture, it stops serving us and starts reshaping us. And not just what we do, but how we think, feel, and relate to each other. What shook me was this idea that progress becomes automatic. We invent because we can, not because we should. Reading this in the age of AI, deepfakes, and social credit systems? Yeah, let's just say I had to pause more than once. Book number 3, Amusing Ourselves to Death by Neil Postman, 1985. This book has gained a little cult following, but it still deserves more attention. Postman was worried, not about censorship, but about distraction. He believed we'd stop caring about truth not because we were oppressed, but because we were too entertained to notice. He said, people will come to love their oppression, to adore the technologies that undo their capacities to think. He didn't live to see TikTok, or endless streaming, or infinite scroll, but he saw it coming. Book number 4, The Society of the Spectacle by Guy Debord, 1967. Okay, full honesty, this book is weird. It reads like someone scribbled angry poetry on the walls of a philosophy class, but there's something fascinating buried inside. Debord said we live in a world where images replace experience. We don't live life. We watch it, share it, perform it. I didn't fully get what he meant until I caught myself filming a sunset instead of watching it. He may have been dramatic, but he wasn't wrong. Book number 5, Future Shock by Alvin Toffler, 1970. This book is probably the most readable of the 5, and weirdly the most comforting. Toffler talked about something he called future shock, a state of disorientation caused by too much change, too fast. He predicted a world where people would feel constantly unrooted, overstimulated, and overwhelmed. And honestly, that's exactly how most of us feel right now. But he didn't just warn, he offered tools to adapt. And maybe that's what we need most. Not just to panic about the future, but to prepare ourselves for it. None of these authors could have known exactly what the world would look like in 2025. But somehow they saw the shape of it, and maybe that's the power of deep, honest thinking. It doesn't need the internet to go viral, it just needs time to be rediscovered. I think what these books remind me is we're not the first people to feel disoriented or manipulated or overstimulated, but maybe, just maybe, we're the first ones with the power to pause, to read, to reflect, and to choose something different. If any of these books sparked your curiosity, let me know in the comments. I'd love to dive deeper into one of them in a future video. And if you want to keep exploring the shelves of forgotten wisdom, subscribe to our channel, where we pull rare lessons from rare books that still speak to our very modern lives. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next page.